I wonder if we can focus on the current government measures that are in place. Which specific measures do we need to see extended and how quickly?
Well, quite frankly, Anna, we need to see all of the measures that have been put in place extended beyond their existing finish dates. Some of them, including some tax reliefs, finish at the end of March, and the furlough scheme, which has helped to preserve a significant amount of employment here in the UK, ends at the end of April. And that's why the British Chambers of Commerce has been calling on the UK government to set out a plan for business support for the whole of 2021, rather than simply drip feed measures through every couple of months to tide businesses over. Unless we see that longer term plan, it's going to be very difficult for businesses to look ahead.
Will any plan, though, undoubtedly or inevitably feature some kind of cliff edge, Adam, when you're talking about support on such a scale for the UK economy? What is the impact of those cliff edges?
Yeah, well, it's absolutely the case that measures will have to taper or come to an end at some point in time, and that will cause discomfort or indeed more serious consequences for some businesses. But what we know from the grassroots of business communities literally right across the UK is that cash is the major problem facing companies right now. They've been running a marathon over the last 10 or 11 months. They think they're within sight of the finishing line, but they may fall before they get there because they simply run out of cash. They run out of energy to survive. And that would be a really bad outcome because, of course, the UK government has put billions and billions into supporting businesses and employment. You wouldn't want them to fall within sight of the finish.
Is that enough, though? Is what the UK government has done, Adam, enough? Or does the BCC want specific measures taken that have not yet been?
Yeah, I think they do need to go further. I think that business rates relief, so property tax exemptions for businesses, need to be both extended and amplified so that they include more affected firms. I think we need some help for businesses who are in supply chains. There's been a lot of focus on the retail, hospitality and leisure industries here in the UK because, of course, they're so visible to people as businesses that have suffered through the pandemic. But they've got behind them huge numbers of companies in their supply chain, lots of service providers and others who haven't had the same level of help. So we do need to see tax reliefs, forbearance and a range of other measures extended for more firms.
So that's what you want to see in terms of the level of support. What kind of assumptions are members making, Adam, about when life does get a little bit more normal? I mean, clearly we get the best analysis possible without any certainty, of course, necessarily so, from various epidemiologists, and we hear from the government what they're planning. But what kind of working assumptions do your members make?
Well, I mean, I think they're working on two time horizons at the moment. On the one hand, they're trying to battle through the days and weeks they have in front of them because, of course, the situation is critical for so many businesses. But those who are able to raise their sights toward the horizon are looking at the warmer months of the year, so the summer months of the year, as a point at which things could become significantly more normal and where demand could return because some of these restrictions come to an end. Governments now need to do whatever they can to accelerate that, and there's two ways that they can do it. The first is rolling out vaccines as quickly as possible, and the second is also rolling out mass testing in the workplace, because that's another way we can keep businesses and the economy open and keep the confidence of the public too.
You know, we had a story on the Bloomberg this morning saying that European savers have amassed more than 600 billion euros to be unleashed on the other side of this, you know, after the vaccines have been rolled out, immunity's reached, etc. Do you see something similar? Do you see such a coiled spring in the UK economy as well?
Well, I think undoubtedly there is pent-up consumer demand out there. A lot of people have been saving more through the pandemic. Some, of course, have not been able to do that at all. But I think in aggregate, there is money there waiting to be spent. We know human beings are social animals, and we know that sectors like hospitality and leisure would see a return of their customers if they were able to do so. So I do think that getting the economy back open with vaccines and testing will unleash some of that consumer spending power. And of course, we're going to need to see that because the consumer in the UK in particular is a huge driver of the economy.